Hello guys, and welcome to episode 13 of my Total War Warhammer playthrough, playing as the Beastmen on very hard difficulty. And today we are going to be continuing eastward towards the dwarves. Now what I'm going to do is possibly destroy Fort Jakova. That would be the last settlement of Kislev. Then we will move on to the dwarves. I'm pretty sure that's the last settlement. Yeah, they only have one settlement, so that will be it. So let's start off by moving Morghur in the Beast Path over towards Fort Jakova. We will have the Beast or the Bray Herd follow us up. We have Barmu coming down towards Castle Drakenhof to back up Goros Heartrender. And Goros Heartrender, he is going to replenish this turn, and then next turn we will attack that settlement. So let's move on to the next turn, let our Bray Herds catch up. Then we will give them targets and we can carry on. So the vampire count is going to be heading down towards their homeland. It's going to be a bit too late though. Castle Drakenhof will be under siege before they know it. The Bray Herd calls. Do you want to answer the call for extra leadership or do nothing? I think we're going to answer the call just because we are going to have a couple of battles soon. Not particularly concerned about the growth at the moment. Let's move into Beastmen ambush stance and start the siege on Fort Jakova. So we're going to encircle this and we will let the Bray Herd catch up. It is actually quite depleted, but extra Minotaurs, Razorgore Herd and so on, always very useful, so we may as well wait for that attack to occur. Goros Heartrender can move into his Beastmen ambush stance and start sieging Castle Drakenhof. So we're going to start by just making plenty of Beastmen siege towers, and this could be a very bloody battle. They've got Graveguard with great weapons, normal Graveguard, Black Knights with lances and barding, not too much of an issue. What I'm really worried about is the Terrorgeists, the two Vargolfs and the Vargeists. Yeah, they're going to be the issue. Let's continue the siege for now. We'll let our Bray Herd catch up and hopefully things will swing in our favour. We've got plenty of units in this army that can be very, very useful. So let's move on to the next turn. Let our Bray Herds catch up and then we can carry on with the attack on Fort Jakova and Castle Drakenhof. The vampire count still making their way down. Pretty sure they are hoping that they can save the settlements, but I don't think they'll be able to. One battle I'm really looking forward to is the battle for Fort Jakova, because we don't actually have many field battles. We haven't been having anyway, and that will be a very large field battle that we will be using an entire Bray Herd, which will be very, very cool. -2 enemy leadership in the local region for Morghur. And mission issued to carry out a successful assassination attempt against Marat Kislevin. That will give us Warrior Bane. Right, so Morghur this turn can attack Fort Jakova. They don't have any artillery. We do, if you count Cygors as artillery. They are going to be forced to come towards us. We can set up ambushes and stuff. I'm not entirely sure what this terrain's like. There actually aren't any trees, so no ambushes. Just a very large hill. Alright, so let's quick save this and fight it on the battle map. And here we are, guys. So let's get our men into position. We will have all of our Ungor raiders sit out in front. Then we will have all of our Ungor spearmen herd behind them. I have to do them back here. Probably move these guys back as well. We'll just run the whole unit forwards, or the whole army forwards, with a group formation, so that should work. Let's get the Ungor herd and the Ungor spearman herd with shields over on the far right. We will have the Bestigor herd over on the left. We'll keep them separate so they can just hammer down a unit on their own. We'll keep the Centaurs behind in order to flank. Be interesting to see these guys go in hard. We've got the Centaurs with just spears, and then we've got Centaurs with great weapons as well. They've got big old cleavers, which is totally awesome. We also have the Razorgore herd who can accompany them. We'll keep the Minotaurs on the right. We have our two Cygors. Let's get them to sit behind the army. They can just walk in and crush enemy melee forces. Then we have Morghur and also Suizgor here, and some Harpies. So that'll do. We're just going to group this lot up, start the battle. We're going to run forwards. Probably just let the Cygors throw their rocks as soon as they can. I think as soon as we get into range, they are going to be forced to come towards us. And I guess what I'm going to do is target Halberdiers, because Halberdiers are the ones that really threaten my Chaos Spawn, and we have a lot of Chaos Spawn. Guess I'll probably throw at the Spearmen with shields as well, but that did a nice amount of damage there, crushing quite a few men. Here comes another rock. Wow. Just like when that rock impacts and the men go flying, it's absolutely crazy. So I really want to maybe use a couple units out wide. What I'm going to do is actually charge down the hill towards them. So let's just go to pause, and then we will set up our charges. So I'm going to spread out these chaps and we'll charge towards the Halberdiers. These guys can charge towards those Halberdiers. Those towards the swordsman, and so on. Okay, we'll have the Bestigor herd move into the center and attack the spearmen with shields. Then what I'll do is have the chariots move out the left with a couple units of Chaos Spawn, and they can flank. Then what we're going to do is have a couple Chaos Spawn run to the left side units. We'll have a couple back up the center and all charge forwards. Then we'll have all of these units start to move around the right side with the Chaos Warhounds. Right, let's get the Cygors to move forwards. Probably going to have them actually engage in melee. Move Suizgor and Morghur forwards as well. We need to get him in the melee, so we'll just target him in the center. And how are our Cygors doing? Okay, so this guy needs to move up. Right, let's get the Chaos Spawn to go into the side of that unit there. These two units can carry on round. What we're actually going to do is get the chariots to just charge ahead, probably straight into the crossbowmen. And with the raiders, what we're going to do is probably target some of their missile forces to stop them causing so much damage. Now I think they actually have more missile forces than I do, and I just made a massive attack order that was really, really bad. Okay, we'll have to sort this out then. How annoying. There we go. So what we're going to do is have those guys charge in there, and then we'll have the other units coming behind. Okay, let's move forwards and hit their crossbowmen. Right, how is our units doing? I need to get this Cygor to run forwards and get involved in the melee, I think. What about the chariots? Oh, the chariots need to break off and hit the crossbowmen, I think. Oh, the Minotaurs engage with Dimitri. Okay, I probably want to avoid that actually and use the Minotaurs to kill some of these infantry. Let's get the chariot in there now to the crossbowmen. We'll have the Chaos Spawn on the left run forwards as well. So this is actually turning out to be pretty bloody. A lot of my raiders actually taking a lot of damage. What we can do though is get our Cygors to throw their rocks, since they have utterly destroyed the infantry. Okay, victory is in our grasp. Ungor herd getting very low on health there. Over on this right side, we've crushed the spearmen with shields. I'm going to get the Chaos Warhounds to break off and go for the crossbowmen. We have Morghur catching up to the crossbowmen there. Chaos Spawn running on forwards, catching up nicely. We'll get these Chaos Spawn to target those crossbowmen there. And soon this will all be over. Where is our second Cygor? He's over here. Let's have him crush the spearmen with shields. So I guess we've got a couple units of Chaos Spawn there that can do that. So let's have the Cygor actually come over and maybe help kill off Marat Kislevian. Unless we could throw at the crossbowmen here. Maybe that would be a better idea, just to stop them launching bolts into our men. We'll run to the middle to do a lot of damage there. The Bestigor herd leading the charge. We'll have Suezgor run on forwards. It's a shame that guy's actually missing. Okay, everything good so far. Over on this right flank actually, a lot of our units losing a lot of health. The Minotaurs almost completely destroyed. Let's bring the Chaos Warhounds back over here and maybe they can make a difference for us. Oh wow. Suezgor just got hit right in the back by a Cygor. That was pretty crazy. Let's keep crushing Marat actually with the Cygor. Okay, so that's one of them dead. Get rid of Bogdan. And that is victory. So that was pretty messy actually. Did take a lot of damage. Didn't lose a single unit though for Morghur. I think we lost some units in the Bray herd, but that's okay. Bray herd's pretty much used up now anyway. But there is our Pyrrhic victory. And that is the destruction of Kislev. So mission aborted and Kislev destroyed. So now what we need to do is move up to Karak Ungor, where we will be taking on the dwarves. Before we do that, let's upgrade Dar. We will give him probably the missile resistance, honestly. Actually, let's get the minus miscast chance first. And what we're going to do is hopefully siege Castle Drakenhof. Currently, we could go over the walls, but I think what I'm actually going to do is wait for these siege towers. So let's end the turn. Next turn, our herd can move towards the dwarves and go into encamp stance. Looks like Manfred is running back to Castle Drakenhof, but it's not going to matter, since next turn will be the turn that I most likely assault Castle Drakenhof. Demoralize army success. That's not ideal, since I believe that reduces our leadership. However, our leadership is still pretty high, so as Morghur blood has actually leveled up. So we will go for the extra melee attack now, and then we will attack Castle Drakenhof. So with those towers, it should make things a lot easier. Let's quick save this and fight it on the battle map. And here we are, guys. So, very interesting battle. We got a massive Bray herd at our back. So let's get these Ungor Spearman herd off these towers. What we're going to do is have the Gore herd go up with those, and they can move towards the walls as soon as possible. And the only issue I have is that the towers are going to be upgraded, so they will most likely do a lot of damage to my towers before they even reach the walls, and hopefully won't destroy them. But what we're going to do, have the Ungor raiders group up in front, and hopefully they'll get targeted before the towers, although that's very unlikely to happen. We'll have the Minotaurs together with the Chaos Spawn, and then we're just going to line up all that infantry and group that separately. So they can be group 2. We have our 2 Cygors. Honestly, I might just get the Cygors to throw rocks at the gates, because it seems like when we go onto the walls, or if I like try to target the fort tower, it wouldn't be destroyed in time before we actually capture it, which seems to have been happening before. The rest of these units can just line up and get ready to pour through the gates. We'll have the Harpies ready to join us on the walls. So, got all of these chaps. They can all be a separate group. We'll go for group 3. We'll have the Minotaurs and the Chaos Spawn as group 4. And that is pretty much everything. All the leaders can stand together in the center. We will start the deployment, start the battle, pause it, and then get things underway. So, first things first, we need to move forwards our Ungor raiders into range. And then what we need to do is start running forwards our infantry. And then what we need to do is get the Ungors, or the Cygors, sorry, to hit the gate. The towers are not being targeted just yet, or they did on the left. I'm kind of wondering what these things are that they are actually firing. Very interesting. Siege tower though on 44% health. I think we're okay at the moment though. Missile forces coming in hard onto the enemy there. Oh, we need to have group 4 run towards the gates. We'll have the Harpies ready to engage them on the walls. Actually, we could have the Harpies try and take care of the Vargeists. Not entirely sure if that will work, but it's worth a try. I'm just going to move forwards the Ungor raiders a bit so they can pick new targets. The towers have reached the walls. What we're going to do is actually get some of these units to climb up with ladders either side of the towers. We'll have the rest of the units just continue on forwards so that they get out of the range of these towers. There we go. We'll have those Ungor spearmen actually climb up the wall there. Brilliant. Okay, so the gate is destroyed. We're going to plough on through with these 4 units into the Greatsword infantry. We will have the Cygors run on through as well. And then we have group 3 waiting to come through as well. So we're going to have the side gores, or center gores, sorry, with throwing axes come up and probably attack the Vargolf at max range, if they can. We'll get them inside the settlement and they should be able to do a lot of damage to that Vargolf. And we need to make sure that our leaders are also moving forward, so let's get them on the move. Make sure they are all charging towards the gates. Brilliant. How are the initial Gore herd doing? I think we're okay. Brave Guard with great weapons, definitely taking a lot of damage. But so are our raiders. Look at that, the raiders there taking an absolute ton of damage. So that Vargolf there, going to prove to be a bit of an issue. We're going to come in with our Cygors and hopefully bash the crap out of it, since it will do a lot of damage to my units if I'm not careful. May as well get the Razor Gore herd in there as well. Brilliant. Wow, the Cygor there just knocking the Vargolf away. Suez Goreblood should actually be in a pretty good position to do a lot of damage to the Vargolf. They are starting to crumble now, which is great. Some of these units crumbling entirely. Looks like the Vargeist want to get in on the fun, but we're not going to let them. Have all of our units attack the Vargeist now, except from the 2 Cygors who can attack the Vargolf. They're doing a lot of damage. This unit may as well climb these ladders. Unless we just withdraw him, but I guess it doesn't really matter. All this missile fire onto the Khanrays here, definitely helping out. That Vargolf so nearly dead. There we go, it's gone. Let's carry on to the Grave Guard now. And then we will choose to destroy the Khanrays. They don't stand a chance against these Minotaurs. Like, all of these units have like crazy knockback. Tell you what, this is a lot easier than a siege of Talabheim though, or Altdorf, sorry. So much lovely violence going on. Let's get group 3 to carry on towards the centre square. We will take out this Vargolf. Oh, here come the Vargeists. Let's engage them. They're not going to last 2 seconds, not against all of those men. Over on this side, we're actually getting surrounded, which is not ideal. I might actually have to have one of my units come back. Maybe we can get Morghur to destroy one of these units. Oh, this is Goros, sorry, not Morghur. So we don't have Goros' ability. We need to use then Devolve, I guess. And we also need to use Valetide. At least we can use that on the walls. That did a lot of damage. That's going to make them crumble and save our Ungor herd. Right, let's move on to the Vargolf now. All of these ranged units actually can probably head inside the gate. Once that Vargolf is defeated, it will most likely lead to a chain rout unless their Black Knights stick about with the Terrorgeist. If the Black Knights do stay about, that will actually be quite an interesting fight. There's Graveguard just fighting to the death. As always with the vampires, honestly. They always seem to. Because of the crumbling. Go on, smash that Vargolf. All of my units just grouping up at the moment to make that happen. Over on this side, Graveguard versus Ungor Spearman Herd. Graveguard should win that engagement. We are going to have some raiders join us shortly in order to completely occupy those walls. May as well get these raiders up there to help out as well. They do actually have quite high melee attack because of the buffs. You can see they have 41 melee attack and 25 melee defense, which is actually quite good for a bow unit. So we'll move them up to attack the Graveguard as well. That should give us a flanking bonus. The large clump of forces over here really needs to be sorted out before we set it off on the middle. So let's see what we actually have here. We've got Group 4. Group 4 is fine. We have Group 3. Group 3 can come to the left. And then we have... let's see. Well, Group 1 is just the Raiders. Then other than that, it's just like Suizgor, Goreblood, and Dar and so on. And Barmu. We could get them to go towards the centre square for sure. Right, let's get our Cygors to split up slightly. We'll send one to the right, we'll send one to the left. We can get a sort of crossfire going with those big old rocks. On the wall here, we're doing pretty well. The Raiders hoping to finish things off with the Graveguard. They're actually doing really well. It's quite surprising. So there is our enemy. The Black Knights, Lancers and Barding. Plus the Terrorgeist flying above them. Okay, do we want to charge in with Golos and Suizgor? Yeah, we may as well. Let's just go for it. We'll have all of these units run on down to help us out. And that is like their entire army landing here. Where is Dar when you need him? Can go for a big old Vile Tide. Oh, they didn't really do much damage. Let's go for the Devour, or Devolve, sorry, as well. So may as well get Barmu into the fight here. Alright, all of these men over on this side, they can come round behind. A couple units can go the right way, the rest should go the wrong way. And what I'm going to try and do is get into the centre square behind all of these units, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter, as they have just crumbled entirely. Brilliant stuff. So I think it's probably just the leader alive. Oh, it's just a Terrorgeist, okay. So we will have Barmu take on the Terrorgeist, as well as the Razorgore chariots. We'll just speed it up, and that is a Pyrrhic victory. So quite a lot of losses, honestly. We lost a lot of men, but nothing super significant. Everything that we lost we can just re-recruit. Especially after the amount of cash we should get from raising this. Yeah, 25,599, yes please. -5 leadership when fighting against undead. How annoying. Okay, so we did lose 1 unit. It's actually not too bad. Let's go for possibly Rune of the True Beast now. Onto Golos. His melee defense is actually pretty low. So raising that up would be a pretty decent idea. Soon we're going to have Morghur move on to Kalakangor. We're going to go 25% and in camp, just so that he can replenish his forces. And the replenishments are actually pretty okay. I thought we'd get attrition from being in the mountains and stuff, but it's not too bad. So that's fine. Let's end the turn. So the vampire counts, they took back Essen. They'll probably take back Castle Drakenhof, honestly. But we've already got the extra 1 settlement towards our raise objective. So hostile hero activity. Demoralize army success. A corpse-like lord of the vampire counts processes his army of bones through our blood grounds. So we needed to eliminate Manfred von Karstein in battle to get the potion of healing, but we failed that. So now we have a white moon, and this is, wow, good timing. So we could get Bestial Rage, but we have 2 Brayherds at the moment. We could go for Almost Fight to get the minus recruitment cost, which would be quite good. No matter how far is alright, but when one falls, all damaged units will be fully replenished at the end of the turn. That is definitely worth having right now, especially considering that massive battle just happened at Castle Drakenhof and all of our units took loads of damage. But now, we don't need to worry. We can just carry on. And what I'm going to do is probably just move straight onto a siege of Zufbar. If that doesn't have a very big garrison, we can get away with that. We can then attack it next turn and be absolutely fine. We're actually not at war with them yet. Interesting. I thought we were. That's alright. Well, we're going to make this declaration. And since we're done with the vampire counts now, actually, I am probably going to offer them a peace treaty.
Do not underestimate.
Never mind. So our attitude with the Warriors of Chaos, we can give them a non-aggression pact and even a military alliance eventually, but we're not going to do that just yet. We'll just let them like us, that'll be fine. Unfortunately, guys, though, that has been my time. So Castle Drakenhof destroyed, Fort Jakova destroyed with Kislev. Kislev annihilated entirely. So a couple big battles. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But in the meantime, that's all. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.